There is a question people rarely ask out loud because it feels uncomfortable. Why do some adults genuinely not know how to be good people? Not polite, not successful, not religious, but good, kind, safe, emotionally responsible. Most of us assume that goodness is natural, that people are born knowing how to care, how to consider others, how to take responsibility for the impact they have. But that is not actually true. Goodness is learned, and when it is not learned early, it does not magically appear later. Some adults grew up in environments where kindness was not modeled. They were not shown how to apologize. They were not shown how to take accountability without shame. They were not shown how to disagree without cruelty. So they learned something else instead. They learned control, silence, defensiveness, survival. If you grow up where emotions are ignored, punished, or mocked, you do not learn empathy, you learn avoidance. If you grow up where power matters more than care, you do not learn responsibility, you learn dominance. If you grow up where love is conditional, you do not learn compassion, you learn how to protect yourself first. This is how some adults become harmful without intending to be. They interrupt, they dismiss, they invalidate, they blame, not always because they are evil, but because nobody ever taught them how to sit with another person's feelings without feeling threatened. Being a good person requires emotional skills, the ability to pause, the ability to listen, the ability to say I was wrong without collapsing or attacking. These are not instincts, they are learned behaviors, and many people were raised by adults who did not have those skills either, so the cycle continues. This is why you can meet adults who are intelligent, hardworking, and respected, yet emotionally careless. They hurt people and genuinely do not understand why others are upset. In their mind, survival came first. Sensitivity felt dangerous. Accountability felt like humiliation. But here is the part that matters, not knowing how to be a good person explains behavior. It does not excuse it. At some point, adulthood removes the protection of ignorance. We all reach an age where our impact becomes our responsibility, where this is how I was raised stops being a reason and starts being a choice. Goodness in adulthood often begins with unlearning defensiveness, unlearning entitlement, unlearning the belief that being confronted means being attacked. It requires humility. And humility is uncomfortable for people who were never allowed to be emotionally safe. This is why growth feels threatening to some people. It asks them to admit that something was missing, and for many, that realization feels like collapse. But the truth is simpler than that. Being a good person is not about perfection. It is about willingness to reflect, willingness to repair, willingness to care about how you affect others, even when it bruises your ego. And if you are watching this wondering whether this applies to you, that question itself is a good sign. People who do not care rarely ask. Awareness is not condemnation, it is the door. Some people were never taught how to be good, but learning late is still learning. And choosing to learn is, in itself, a form of goodness.